Oh, would you look at that? It actually works for once. Wow. Alright, so today we're going to be unboxing this apsx and installing this wideband sensor right here. So let's go ahead and crack her open. Alright, so it should be a wideband, some other goodies in there. Comes with your normal stuff here. Wideband, wires, and a Bosch sensor. So that's what's up. That's pretty good to go. And I'm going to pull a car over here on the lift and let's get started. Pull this open real quick. It comes with a bung to weld on. And the sensor itself is pretty simple. Should be good to go. Let's do it real quick. Here it is. So basically what we're going to be doing today is taking off the downpipe and putting in the wideband sensor. So I'm going to show you real quick where it's at. I got this single turbo setup. So it's going to be a V-band clamp right here, right off the hot side of the turbo. Just the V-band, and there's 2 bolts on the underside. That's why we got it on the lift. Just throw it up there real quick. And once you weld that bung on, we're going to go inside and run the sensor itself to this homemade piece of black acrylic that's showing up as nothing, but it's right underneath where the HVAC controls would be. So that's what we're going to start at. We're going to pull this panel right here, and then we're going to drill a 2-inch hole in it for the sensor itself. And then we're going to pull the downpipe as well and drill a hole in it and weld that bung on and install after some wiring. So not a big deal. One of the easiest gauge installs aside from the welding, but if you can do that, it is definitely one of the easiest gauge installs with the most benefit probably. So let's do it. So in order to get that center panel out, it's got a few rivets you just got to pull up. Be really gentle, of course. And my dash and whole interior, remember it came with no interior, so my dash is always pretty well easy to get apart. But you got to pull out the center, you got to pull out the gauge surround to get some screws, and then there's a couple of screws behind it. You can't miss some, but then you end up with this kind of homemade panel. Of course they're all broken because that's how they all come, but let's move it over here. We'll drill some holes in it. So basically, now that we're over here, you got the wideband sensor right here. You want to decide where you want to mount it in the panel, and I'm going to go with anywhere. It doesn't really matter to me as long as it's in there. So the easiest way, I got a 2-inch hole saw, and the gauge is 52 millimeters, which is about 2 inches. So pretty much just make it fit after that. So it's no big deal. No big deal. I'm going to drill this hole real quick, mount it up, and we're going to go from there. So yeah. So I drilled the hole. It fit pretty good. What I did to hold it in place was I got my hot glue gun and hot glued around the back side of it, and you got to see I got to get some of the excess off, but it worked pretty well, and I'm happy with it. You know, it's good enough for me. So hot glue is a good tip to hold in your switches and your gauges, whatever has to like fit in pretty tight like that. So just a quick tip, hot glue. That's it. Let's go pull the exhaust real quick. So on this car, and most cars, since they all have a downpipe, you can see the O2 sensor right there. It's got a plug that runs under the intake manifold, and so you unplug that real quick. See, I got my V-band clamp loosened. I'm going to pull it off real quick. I'm going to lift the car, and I'm going to pull off the other 2 bolts on the bottom. Let's get to it. Got the 2 bolts out. Straight pipe exhaust all the way to a Borla muffler, whatever. You can kind of read it. I don't know. But anyways, 2 bolts right here. Pull the downpipe. Let's go drill a hole in it for the O2 sensor. Got the downpipe off right here. We're going to weld this bung on after we drill a hole. You want to be careful where you mount it, because you don't want it to hit the firewall and you don't want to hit the block or anything like that. So after you drill your hole, just make sure you mark it right, and then drill it, and then tack it on there and run it around just like they did on this one. So I'm going to mount mine about right there. It's got plenty of room. Should have plenty of room for the sensor and the wiring to fit. So we should be good. I'm going to drill a hole real quick and then tack it on. I'm probably going to run some wiring for the gauge itself, and then see how it goes after that, see how it looks. You can see it down there. We got the bung installed, welded on. We got it ran over here to the plug, which we're going to tie down. Remember, the wires are ran inside to the gauge. The first one you see, the one closest to us, is the O2 sensor for the car, and the second one is the wideband gauge O2 sensor. So that's it on there. It's all V-banded back up. It's good to go. So we got it back in here, we got it wired up. We're gonna test and see if it has power. Should just pop right up. If your car is anything like mine, your dash is really easy to come apart, and you can find some hot wires, or you probably already have some wired up to a switch or something. So I got it on the key switch right here. See, it has power, and you see it swept across. It looks pretty good. I don't have anything plugged up, so I don't know if it's doing that for a reason, but looks like it's got power. Right on. The wires that came out of the thing, red went to hot, black went to ground. They had a couple other data logger wires, and I haven't hooked those up yet, but if you'd like to, I might do it in my Power FC later on, but who knows. That's it. Alright, so that's pretty well going to wrap it up today, guys. All we did was install the air fuel gauge. It's a very easy install, especially if you know how to wire even a little bit. If you don't know how to weld, it's like a 1-minute weld, so you can find somebody to do it, no doubt. But as far as installs go, it's one of the easiest, most beneficial installs you can do on your car, a wideband gauge. I'll link this one in the description. I think I gave around 150 bucks for it. I don't remember the brand, but I got it off Amazon. It's should be pretty good. It's got a Bosch sensor, and it looks pretty good in the car, so we'll test it out coming next day. I can't take it out right now. It's been terrible weather, man. It sucks. But next time we get a sunny day, I'm going to take the car out and do a walk around, do a couple videos on it. So if you're interested in the next few videos, next few part installs, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of stuff coming for sure. And plus, look at it. I mean, look at it. It's legit. So we got the wideband install. I appreciate you guys watching. Tune in next time for something else. But that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. See you next time.